This testimony perfectly represents how business owners end up saving nothing for retirement. The plot begins with Carrie Block, an exceptional entrepreneur. She scaled four businesses from nothing. Across all of them, millions of dollars worth of cash flowed in and out of her balance sheets. You'd think Carrie had it made, and she did too. That is, until she needed a business loan. When the bank asked her for her personal financial statements, she froze. Carrie didn't have any savings. Despite all her success, she had never set anything aside for herself. At that moment, with her face flushed and heart skipping beats, she knew she had to change. But more on that later. Carrie's case was anything but unusual. If you're like most business owners, you don't feel wealthy, not even if your net worth exceeds seven figures. You spend so much time growing your business that you never have the time to focus on your nest egg. Let's change that today. My name is Slater Smith, and in this video, I want to teach you how to shift your mindset to effectively save for retirement despite the constant pressure to reinvest into your business. To make this as easy as possible, I create a simple retirement calculator that you can access in the description. We'll demo it later in the video where you can follow along. Most business owners develop a kind of tunnel vision when it comes to their personal finances. That's because your business is like your baby. Sleepless nights, lost weekends, canceled vacations. I'm a dad and founder myself, so I know what it's like. These aren't character flaws per se. It takes sacrifice to cultivate something meaningful. The skill you're lacking isn't financial acumen, it's enforcing an order of operations. No responsible parent would invest towards their child's college plan before contributing towards their own retirement accounts. That would be backwards. And yet, a Fidelity study found that 83% of owners admit they should be saving more. They know it. You know it too, or else you wouldn't still be watching this video. But this isn't as simple as just do better. The problem you're facing is known as future self continuity. You see, when you think about your future self, the brain processes that as talking to a stranger, not as talking to yourself. UCLA researcher Hal Hirschfield puts it this way.
People's tendency to think about the future self as more like another person than like the present self makes saving feel like giving money away rather than like investing in oneself.
The reason you prioritize your business is because it's in the here and now. Your ROI in 2 weeks is more real than a future you at age 65, let's say. What I do to help my clients start planning is to make their future self feel present and personal. Using the calculator I mentioned a moment ago helps with that because seeing your numbers makes the unknown feel concrete. It's the same strategy the ghost of Christmas yet to come used on the Scrooge. I'm sure you already know the story. It wasn't until the ghost showed Scrooge his own death that the man's eyes finally opened. Scrooge was scared of seeing his future self, but once he did, he vowed to change his ways. The same thing happened with our friend Carrie. Once it hit her that she was cash poor, she committed to change. She surrounded herself with financial professionals who could guide her towards the future self she wanted to be. The outcome? She devoted 3% of her salary and 100% of her distributions toward her retirement accounts. She had personal wealth to her name and the confidence that comes with it. And if Carrie could do it, why not you? You just have to calculate your numbers to get started. And this calculator is as simple as possible. There are only seven inputs, most of which speak for themselves. Time, for example. For current age, we'll put 45, 67 for the desired retirement age because why not? Current portfolio, let's assume you have an old 401k from before you started your business. $100,000 sounds reasonable. Now, here's where you can start playing around. How much should you realistically save for retirement? I'd say 15% of your income is a good starting point, but it ultimately depends on your lifestyle and budget. Let's say you're taking home $500,000 annually. 15% of that is 75K a year. As for your desired retirement income, you have some flexibility. We know from multiple studies that retirees typically spend 10 to 20% less than they did while working. But maybe you move to a lower cost of living area, or maybe you've always lived well below your means. So a more aggressive 50% is fine. For now, we'll just take off 20%, which is $400,000 annually. The last two inputs might surprise you: current legacy assets and desired total legacy. Not every retirement planner will ask you about this, but I just think it's really important. These numbers refer to how much you want to leave behind for your heirs when you're gone, and you should think hard on this. If you want to leave a substantial legacy, you'll either have to save more while you're working, spend less during retirement, or acquire a life insurance policy that's guaranteed to pay out whenever you pass away. I personally believe that life insurance is the most optimal asset to create that legacy, but I have other videos discussing that. Let's just say you haven't considered your legacy at all. We'll put zero for today with a goal of 1 million for the future. Let's calculate that. And what you're gonna see here is a nearly $7.4 million shortfall, and I know that's a lie. It's as scary as Scrooge seeing his own grave, but fear is often the strongest of motivators. So, we'll just course correct. Let's push retirement to age 70, save 30% of your income, take $100,000 less in retirement, and cut the legacy in half. And with just those few changes, you're on track. But if you're thinking after looking at your numbers that you have a lot to start saving, I get it. But remember, this is the simplest calculator possible. There are a lot of variables it just doesn't consider. I know many business owners, for example, plan to exit their business one day, and that extra cash could significantly shorten your retirement outlook. But to understand why selling your business, even at a significant profit, might not be enough to fund your retirement, go ahead and click the video that just popped up on your screen.